Today we are going to be discussing SOHCAHTOA and finding angles. This is topic 5. Don't forget SOHCAHTOA and how we will remember it. What does this stand for? The sine stands as opposite over hypotenuse. The cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, and the tangent stands for opposite over adjacent. And we remember it by this ratio. Today we're going to be using our graphing calculator. You're going to be given a decimal or fraction, the sine, cosine, and tangent of an unknown angle, and you're going to have to figure out what that angle is. Step one, when we do anything in the calculator with right triangle chib, is we have to make sure that our calculator is in degree mode. Now, how do I do this? If I look at my graphing calculator, there's a button that says mode. When I look, notice degree is in black with white letters. That means that this calculator is in degree mode and we are ready to go to the next step. Now, in order to do anything, we're going to press the second key and then the indicated trig function, sine, cosine, or tangent. Once we do that, we're going to enter the decimal that's on the other side of the equal sign or the fraction. When I enter a fraction, since SOHCAHTOA are made up of fractions, I'm going to have to use the division sign. I'm going to hit the enter key and then record my answer normally to 1 decimal place, which we call the nearest tenth. The 10th place. So here are some example problems. Notice I'm rounding to the nearest tenth, which is 1 decimal place. This says sine of p is 0.1239. So if I go to my calculator, I want to get out of mode, and like I said, we're going to hit the second key, and then I'm going to hit sine 0.1239. I'm going to close my parentheses and hit enter, and I get 7.1 degrees. It's kind of important to put the degree mark there. Next, I'm going to do cosine of 0.7064. So I hit second cosine of 0.7064. Close my parenthesis, and I get 45.1 degrees. Then I look at tangent of 3/4. So when I put that in my calculator, I'm going to hit the second key, then tangent of 3 divided by 4. And then I hit enter, and I get 36.9. degrees. Now that I've done that, what happens when I have a triangle and a picture and I got to figure out what's going on? So here are my steps. I need to decide which acute angle I'm using to label my opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse, which is the next step. So we've already done that in topic 4. Now, one of these sides is going to have no information, or I need to pick one that I want to get rid of, and I cross it out. Now, looking at the 2 pieces of information I have left, which is the 2 sides, am I going to be using SOHCAH or TOA? Now I'm going to use SOHCAHTOA and the calculator, the second key, calculator, to find the missing angle. So let's try a problem. Step 1, I need to pick an angle. I'm going to pick the one with the X. I'm going to label my opposite, my hypotenuse, and my adjacent. There is no information by adjacent, so I'm going to cross it out. If I write SOHCAHTOA, I can see that I crossed out the adjacent. So I'm going to cross out everything that has an adjacent. And what do I have left? Sine. So that's the one I'm going to pick. Sine of x equals opposite over hypotenuse. Now this looks like something I can put in my calculator. I'm going to hit the second key, sine, 9 divided by 13, and I get 43.8. degrees. Moving on to another example. This time I'm going to pick where the x is, and I'm going to label my opposite, my hypotenuse, and my adjacent. I'm going to look at SOHCAHTOA, and I'm going to say which one doesn't have anything by it. The adjacent has an 8, the opposite has a 12, and the hypotenuse has nothing. So I get rid of everything with an h. I'm going to pick tangent. Tangent of x equals opposite over adjacent. So I'm going to go to my calculator. I'm going to hit the second key and tangent, and then 12 divided by 8. And I get 56.3. Last example. I'm going to pick my angle, and I'm going to label my opposite, my hypotenuse, and my adjacent. Looking at SOHCAHTOA, I'm going to cross out my hypotenuse because it has nothing by it again. So I'm left with tangent. Tangent of x equals 15 over 14. So I'm going to go to my calculator, hit second tangent, 15 over 14, and I get 46.97, which is going to round to 47.0. So now that we've done these, go ahead and try some on your own.